Hi, this is Philip, and welcome to the first episode of my Let's Win XCOM Long War. Not just a Let's Play, we're going to be focusing on solid tactics and trying to figure out the best ways to tackle this extremely difficult mod by Johnny Lump and Amaneri. Available on nexusmods.com. I also have an installation video to help you install it for XCOM Enemy Unknown. If you have the expansion, then you'll be playing the beta, which has the beta for Enemy Within of Long War, which has a lot more options. First thing that you should do is disable the tutorial. The tutorial is not supported by the mod, and the scripting in it just plays havoc with some of the new features. Secondly, you should know that second wave options are available to everyone in XCOM Long War. And they've all been tuned to match the Long War experience. The one that you should avoid is Marathon, because the game has not been... The game is long. It's called Long War for a reason, and mixing it with Marathon, which extends everything, could make the game unwinnable or unplayable at some point. I'm going to go with not created equally, so my rookies have random starting stats, because I enjoy the... the differentiation among my troops, and picking out special troops and finding a place for below par troops. Alright, we're going to play on normal, which is what is suggested for people who have not yet played Long War, and I highly recommend it. Although I beat the original the first time I played, the vanilla XCOM 2012 on classic Iron Man, and it was challenging. Long War on normal is at least as challenging as classic on vanilla, possibly a little more challenging because you'll have to unlearn some of the tactics that you learned playing through vanilla. I assume you have played through vanilla and you're not jumping straight into Long War. If you are, I might just play on cinematic to get an idea of how the game works. So let's start off with beginning countries. I think the easiest country to start off with is North America, where you pay only 70% of the original price for aircraft and aircraft weapons for the whole game. So that's... The air war is much more difficult. You'll have interceptors out for half a month from a light graze, or for up to a month or more from heavy damage. And that will happen much more often than before. It'll usually take multiple interceptions to take out a UFO. All in all, an excellent investment. This will save you a lot on a monthly basis. Europe is what I'm going to be starting with. Expert knowledge. Laboratories and workshops cost 40% less to build and maintain. Not as high as it was. I think it was 50% originally. But, yeah. Key laboratories and workshops are key now. You'll want the rebates from the workshops. You'll need there are higher minimum engineer thresholds to build things, especially satellite uplinks. You'll need 2 workshops built before you can build your 3rd, and they provide less satellite capacity, so all very important. And as for laboratories, research is much slower than before, and you'll desperately be wanting research to keep up with the alien menace. Asia, future combat, all projects in the Foundry and Officer Training School cost 50% less, and these projects are much more expensive than before, and often for the Officer Training School available at later periods. Since the game is a lot longer, troop progression is slower, especially for the last 4 levels, or the levels after Sergeant, which means that officer training is going to be tougher to get to the high level ones, and they're also much more expensive. The Foundry projects, I haven't delved into all that much myself. They are also expensive, and also there are many more worthwhile Foundry projects. South America, power to the people. Power facilities cost 40% less to build and maintain. Completely different than before. The interrogation, autopsy being completed instantaneously was the old ability, and was just a little much too powerful and didn't fit well with the Long War, the emphasis of Long War. So power facilities are more expensive and provide less power in general. So this can be a serious bonus, especially early in the game, if you focus heavily on building stuff. Also, it's an easy continent to grab, so most people don't start here, because it only has 3 countries. And Africa. Monthly XCOM funding is increased by 30%. Same as it was before. It's a good bonus. It's a really good bonus if you're doing well, and it can be kind of a less useful bonus if you're doing poorly. You have to focus on satellites to really bang it out. So I'm going to start with Europe, just to get my economy rolling quickly, and that's going to be the focus of my strategy. Excuse me. Operation Lazy Star. So if you're not doing the tutorial, you'll be thrown into a mission with just some rookies. You'll note in Long War I have 6 squad members initially, and I can have up to 8 later. First thing so these all being rookies with 1 grenade, an assault rifle, and a pistol. There's not too much to think about with my troops. Now, since I have random stats on, I'm going to take a peek and see I have 3 soldiers with very high aim. I'm going to use them to respond and the other soldiers to advance. Okay, so knowing how our soldiers are equipped, and they're all the same, is step 1. Step 2 is to evaluate the map and the possible strategies. Here we see, I always look for the heavy cover. This truck, this pod is likely heavy cover, and the walls of this building. Also, this alleyway here could give us some flanking opportunities, as we could go down the front of the store and down the back at the same time. So I'm probably just going to advance straight up here. Let's take one of our rearmost troops. I like to see how far I can possibly advance. This guy can move here. So let's sprint into cover, because I would really hate to get trapped around this car with a bunch of aliens inside with heavy cover. What I would really like to do is advance up the middle of the store with all this heavy cover in here. Alright, so then we have this character. So as long as we stick between the wall here, the invisible wall, and this character, we're not going to trigger any enemies unless there's some really way back at the end of this. So we're just going to keep the whole squad tight against the wall to minimize the chance of contact on this first turn when I'm spending most of my action moving. Also, you can safely move to empty spaces as long as you are very, very certain you won't trigger enemy contact. Alright, looks like we're safe. I'm going to send 3 people in the middle and 3 up the back. And this guy's slow, so let's send him to the front here. I'm not going to bother with Overwatch this first turn. It's more important to get to good cover. And rookie Overwatch is pretty pitiful, since Overwatch penalizes you 20 the door 20 accuracy points, and rookies have the lowest accuracy of all troops. It's just not wholly beneficial. Alright, no enemies here, at least as far as we can tell. I'm gonna move these guys up. As a general tactic, I suggest you don't spend all the action points of a troop at once. So I'm gonna be Advancing in, sticking to heavy cover.
We're witnessing something.
Sectoid's accuracy is fairly low. Heavy cover will make survival very likely. Now that we've had first contact, I'd like to mention you have two main goals in this first mission. One is for each soldier to score a kill, so that they'll level up into a squaddy at the end of the mission, assuming you don't lose anybody, and assuming you take out all the aliens. And the other is to kill 5 sectoids without using explosives. Alright, he's got 70 offense, so if I have to use someone for Overwatch, he'll do. Uh-oh. As soon as I'm fighting more than 2 or 3 aliens at once, I start thinking grenades. Oh, he's done. I went against my own advice. I'm gonna put him here on Overwatch. I'm gonna need Overwatch back here. Also Overwatch. Thank goodness this character is quick. So here we are ensconced in heavy cover, lots of Overwatch, nothing for you to do. And we're gonna hope for the best.
What was that sound?
So remember to watch who gets a kill.
Oh, shot wide.
Alright, that was the one on the right.
Their weapons appear to self-destruct when the operator
We'll try and
dies.
keep him in the
We
back.
should look closely for any fragments that could be salvaged for our own development programs.
Yes.
Still alive. Missed.
It's okay. He's not gonna last. Very poor positioning.
They're repositioning on us.
Here we have a mind merge sectoid. A sectoid behind him, and you can kind of tell where that sectoid is, at least what direction, from the direction of the purple stuff coming out of his head. Is mind merged with him. And what that means is he has 1 more health, giving him 4 health. And he's much more aggressive. And if you kill the alien behind him, the one mind merging into him, it will kill both of them. That's something we want to exploit as often as possible, but may not have the opportunity for. So I like to advance my rear troops first. And that just gives me a better idea of how far forward I can advance. Plus, my forward troops are the one most likely to need to go into Overwatch and fire on aliens. Since one of these aliens could conceivably come through this door, I'm going to go into Overwatch with these troops.
Roger that. Scanning.
Now, this guy is our furthest back. And if I move him up here, he'll still be in heavy cover, and he should be able to flank this mind-merged sectoid. I might worry about running into more aliens up there, but since most of my squad still has movement, it'll really just allow me to adjust if I need to. Yes. So obviously now I can't leave him there. So I'm gonna wait, and we're gonna move up. I don't want to expose myself to this guy's fire if I'm not going to be able to go into Overwatch, so I'm not going to move up to the edge of that cover, but here, so I can block line of sight, and see if we can take this guy out.
Nailed it.
When you're flanking an enemy, like my character's being flanked, you can tell by the yellow, you get a 50% bonus to your chance to crit. Let's see. Since this character can... Well, first, we're going to try our luck with this character. If you move catty corner to another character, you should be able to flank them. Occasionally it doesn't work like this. That's a bug in the vanilla game. But generally it will work. So, we've had this character go into Overwatch. We're going to open the door because otherwise it makes noise, which generally causes the aliens to come at you faster. We're going to see if he... Okay, didn't see any aliens up there. And here our squad is, nice and entrenched. A couple Overwatch shots. Now, if I'd done this internal stuff first, instead of moving my flanking team that's on the outside of the building, you note I could have dashed safely. Alright, here's that Overwatch planning paying off. At least I got a shot. This guy's in a really bad position. Okay. So he got a kill. He got a kill. Let's move over here, see if those aliens advanced. Let's move up here. This is a very safe spot. Notice we're catty-core that alien, so we will get the shot. Wait, is this who I want to... Yes. This is the most surefire way for rookies to actually score a kill, is just run them up on whatever it is and pray. Okay, so I believe that takes care of 3 aliens. I forgot how many there were. Oh well. Let's advance. Note there's another doorway up here. Just to be safe, I'll move him there. Let's keep his teammate with him. They'll play it safe, move to the back of the building, come around if they have to. This guy may see an alien on his turn, so we're going to put him into Overwatch. This one, let's put him here in case aliens come close to the building. And finally this character, let's move him up here and reload since he's only got 1 shot left in his assault rifle.
Locked and loaded.
Assault rifles only have a 3 ammo capacity and pistols only have 2. The starting pistol at least. Until you improve that. There's some foundry projects. There's a foundry project which improves your
It's raining death over here.
ammo capacity. And there's also an item unique to Long War that gives you a little extra.
Damn it, enemy is still alive.
Alright, miss. Overwatch is paying off. Miss.
Oh, shot
I know it's not hitting, but just getting the opportunities is important. Ugh. Now note how we are not flanked by him, but he is flanked by us. That's because we are right up on the edge he's on, and he is not on our edge. Okay, that was a pretty beneficial turn for us. Let's leave these guys in reserve, since they could actually pop in and take some shots if they had to. Alright, he's flanking that character. Why is... I don't see who's flanking this sectoid here. Now remember, we've got 3 kill... Who has killed someone? This guy... I think these 3 have. Not sure if he has, but he's in a perfect position for the shot, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'll have to retreat him next turn to reload.
Out of ammo here.
Unless there's an enemy with only 1 health left. This guy will need to reload this turn. So will this one. Now I can advance up here flank him and be right on him and kill him, I'm sure. Question is, who is going to cover his back? Where can these guys move? They can both move right here. That should prevent me from getting flanked. Okay. This isn't quite a risky move, but only because I have a good idea that no one can get along this line here. The aliens won't move they won't move to no cover to shoot you, for the most part. Oh, he had Overwatch on. And I lucked out. If I had realized he had Overwatch on, I would have run one of these characters with no ammo, dashed outside to draw the fire away and decrease my chance of getting hit.
X-ray neutralized.
I may also luck out if the aliens decide that retreating is their best option. I'm gonna move him forward just to make this guy nervous about being flanked and reload. Who has the better aim of you two? Move him here. So if anyone moves past this line, he'll see them and hopefully take a shot. Gonna move this character up. Not sure if he'll be able to aim, but it's the only high cover where I might have an Overwatch shot. And we're just gonna take this character outside.
Let's do this.
And he'll probably become part of my outside flanking team. Well, let's see. This character is getting mind merged with and advancing. And the Overwatch pays off again.
Failed to connect.
Good. And he won't be able to take a shot without any of my characters in full cover.
Taking fire.
Perfect. So we've got a kill with this character, this character. Pretty sure these characters, these two, seem to be the only ones without a kill at the moment. This character could easily, this soldier could easily flank this sectoid, but be pretty exposed. This character, And with 4 health, damage is randomized in Long War. About 25% up or down. Which means that you could do 2, 3, or 4 damage with an assault rifle. And it's about 50% chance you do 3 and 25% the other ones. Let's just stay entrenched and take some pot shots at this guy. It's not likely this character will kill him. Let's pull this character around and reload. No point being exposed to the enemy unless you want them to shoot you when you reload. Move this rear character up. Hit this guy with a grenade. Hopefully we'll destroy his cover. Maybe it'll kill him. We'd rather not kill him with a grenade. Perfect. But we would love to destroy his cover. Since I think the other alien will flee, I'm going to move in the light cover. Will flee if I kill his pal. Perfect. Now, I think this is the last character I really need to get a kill with. We're going to continue to advance safely forward. this character forward.
Overwatch. Aye, aye.
To it. Excellent. Now you can't get a critical hit off of Overwatch shots unless you have the Opportunist perk. So Overwatch is severely penalized. Minus 20 to accuracy, minus 40 if they're dashing, or if they have not yet done their introduction cutscene, the aliens. And no crits. So it's best to avoid it if possible, unless you're going to do it en masse. Alright, let's see how we did.
Well, impressive work.
Congratulations,
Commander.
excellent
Our soldiers
first
have to be
mission.
feeling good after a
Officer
mission like
Training
that.
School is available from the very get-go in Long War. And yes, everyone got at least one kill, so we got all 6 people up to squatty. No one got hurt. You'll notice they're all tired. 4 to 6 days, generally 5 to 6. Every time you send a soldier on a mission, they become tired. You can then send them on another mission if they're tired, but they'll take what Long War calls a moderate wound. So, any wound that goes beyond the health that armor and items grant you will put you in the hospital for 5 to 6 days or longer. So, if you want to use these characters for the next half of the month, you really want to avoid getting hurt more than you have armor. The base health of rookies is 4, and the base armor of the standard basic armor is 1. So, anything more than 1 damage, and you're looking at a hospital stay.
Commander to the research lab.
Alright, so we captured 8 sectoid corpses and 8 weapon fragments. Perfect. Those are 2 strategic objectives. At least 5 sectoids killed with guns, which gives us a corpse and a fragment each, and at least 1 kill with each troop. And of course, the 3 starting researches are now available: xenobiology, weapons fragments, and alien materials. So, pretty perfect first mission. No wounds. Everyone got a kill, and all the research materials we need. So let's take a look at our choices. Xenobiology requires 5 sectoid corpses. Weapons fragments requires 5 weapons fragments, and alien materials requires 2 Illyrium, 2 alloys, and 5 more weapons fragments. Now, there's the research tree is available at the same place the mod is in the images. There's also a perk tree for soldier progression, although I have changed all the perks from the original Long War. I'm working on my own modification to the Long War mod to make perks more tactical and the game just more fun in general. Also maybe slightly easier. But it won't change our strategic planning, only some of the tactical maneuvers I can do. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. As for the research tree, I took some time to look at it. You should definitely have it up when you're making your choices, because you can see it's going to take 18 days to finish any of these researches, which is a long time, and probably longer than what you're used to. And every advancement is going to be incremental as opposed to completely transforming your experience. You're not going to get a new weapon and have it be just absolutely amazingly powerful. You're going to get slow, steady advancement, and you really need to plan out what you want. In general, xenobiology is a more economic approach, and since what it does is it gives you medikits, which make you immune to poison, the holder of a medikit, and medikits heal 4 health each when used, as opposed to the first aid kit, which is new to Long War and available. And it leads to the autopsies, which are required for the interrogations. And once you autopsy an alien, you can give those. You may receive requests for those corpses from council members, and they'll give you goodies. So I'm gonna go with this for the medikit and future
overwhelming the current staff. I hope you'll
benefits.
Commander to
Next.
mission control. Commander to mission control.
The first thing I always do in engineering is build alien trophies. These are, let's see, these are unique to Long War. It says, one of the engineers can fashion an alien trophy out of the remains of some alien hardware and hard internal organs. These serve as a reminder that the aliens are, in fact, mortal and can be beaten. What this does is, it's an equipable item for your troops. You can build them quickly because they are free. And they give you plus 15 will, which is great for psychic troops later. Really good for psychic troops. And is great for rookies at the beginning of the game who are prone to panic. Next, you'll notice we have one satellite in reserve already. We're going to expect to launch 2 by the end of the month, so I'm going to build one normally. That should give me enough time. If I immediately build this satellite, I should finish it and the satellite uplink before, with time to launch the satellite before the council pays me before the end of the month. And we can build a SHIV immediately. SHIVs have 2 damage resistance, 12 health, and a minigun, which is as good as the heavy weapon. I think it does 5 damage. So they're great against sectoids. I'm not going to build one at the beginning. They're good to have, and they can really save your bacon, especially if they don't get damaged. Then they tend to have, they don't get tired, so you can send them out on multiple missions. If you're low on troops, if you find all your troops are wounded and recovering, you might want to think about having a SHIV in reserve to cover that eventuality. They're good on terror missions and council missions, especially if you don't have a medikit and you're not prepared for the poison that Thin Men will be using on you. But I think I can do without, since I'm headed for the medikit, and I want to focus on facilities. Oh, we have a steam right here, and we're going to want that soon.
Unfortunately, the deeper we go, the more it's going to cost.
So, how am I going to do this? I would normally build 4 satellite uplinks over the course of the first 4 or 5 months here.
Commander to mission control. Commander to mission control.
3 is the minimum I need to capture 4 more countries, which should give me 1 more continent bonus. And I may just go with 3 satellite uplinks and my power facilities here.
Commander to mission control.
I'm gonna excavate this because it's cheap. Going to build a satellite uplink here. 200 cost. Note that you only get 1 satellite per uplink and 1 for every adjacency bonus. So this is going to be worth 2 to me, which will bring my entire capacity to 3, 1 of which is already used from my starting country. And because I want to build, oh, I'm almost out of power, because I want to build a workshop or a lab for the cheapness, which is my due. I'm going to build a power generator
Commander to mission control.
instead of officer training. And I'm going to want to get to that steam fast. So I don't want to build too many power generators because they're expensive and not nearly as efficient as the steam generator. So that my power generator will give me 6 power, which will take me up to 36. My access lift will cost me 2 power, which will leave me, yes, we're going to do this. That'll still let me build 1 workshop, I think, is what I'll build first. I'll need the engineers to build my 3rd satellite uplink. I'll need actually to build 2 workshops or get lucky. Oh, and visiting the gray market is possible from engineering now, thanks to the Long War mod. Sectoid corpses, weapon fragments, we're going to keep all these.
research team may not have discovered their
If we go
true
look in the
value
barracks, we have 25 troops. Our promoted squaddies won't be available. And missions come about every 2 or 3 days. So you need about 3 full squads. And it's best to have some extras, especially when you upgrade the squad size, because then you'll have 7 or 8 troops tired from every mission. The Shiv can really help with that. Here we have the ship list. You start off with 4 interceptors instead of 2, and you can have up to 6 on each continent instead of 4. And you'll need them, as we will see going into... Let's see. Also, let's take a look at starting panic. Not bad, not bad. Asia has some panic. Asia is one of my favorite continents to capture for the officer training and foundry cheapness. So I will probably go for that, as well as to reduce overall panic. All in all, panic is quite low for me, which is lucky. Alright. Note that losing any country will cost you money. And of course, every satellite you launch gains you. So, let's scan and see when our first interception. Alright, alien trophies built. An abduction site.
Commander, we've picked up multiple
I guess we
requests
won't
for
get to see
assistance.
the...
Abductions in progress are marked on the hologlobe.
Interceptors at work. Alright, I'm going to stop this here. I'd like to note that, remember, the emphasis is on long-term planning, and you want to keep soldiers from getting wounded so that you can use them more often, and you want to invest very wisely, especially in things that increase your research speed, that increase your number of engineers, which makes everything cheaper, and smart power choices. Like for me, going for this steam early is going to be expensive, but worth it, because otherwise I'll have to excavate a lot of territory and pay for a lot of cheap and ultimately inefficient power generators. Alright, so now that we've got our head in the game, I will see you next time for an abduction mission. Take care.